Smithsonians, welcome back. New face. No, it's not a new face. You've been here before.
I've been here before. Yeah. Well, new face, I guess, in this space.
No. You're co-host, so you're good. If you don't remember, go watch our first video. She talked about Haiti and epidural. That went viral.
What's that? The epidural?
Yeah, it's like
it's. I expected, so it's a lot of energy around the epidural for sure. I did do a name change though, update. I started going by my middle name.
Hey, talk about it. Who are you?
Smithsonians, welcome back. Yeah. This ain't just content. It's purpose. Purpose over popularity. We building legacy, not just views. Every story got meaning. Every voice got truth. Camera rolling, vision clear. We turn purpose into impact here. Smith says, let's go. Let's go.
Peace, y'all. And actually, yeah, because I think I did both name changes since I've been here, my last name and my middle name. So I started going by my middle name, Monique.
Okay.
Paying a little bit honor to my mother. She was actually going to name me Renee Monique, and my middle name is Monique. But I just wanted, frequency-wise, changing it up some, seeing what's else out there underneath a different name.
Okay, sweet. Any birth plug thing you've been working on lately?
Yes. I actually just uploaded my book called A Birth Journey and How We Got Here to Amazon. So that by the time y'all see this, it's going to be available on Amazon. So you can definitely go purchase the paperback. And I'll have it sooner than later. I'll have it available in ebook, also a hard copy and audio, because we're going to put the voice to use.
Okay, yeah. All right. You're not brand new, so let's talk about it. So where did it come about? Because epidural, like, what are some other things that happen during the birth phases that's mentioned in the book? Don't get too much detail, but like, talk about what's in the book.
Okay, so like really is my idea of birth, right, was...
Your idea of birth?
It's sacred, right? Okay. I think a lot of people tie pregnancy and labor and giving birth to children into this commercialized thing, and it's not.
You gotta break it down.
Okay.
I'm new to this. Yeah, break it down.
Okay, so it's a short window to conceive.
Okay.
Conceive means the moment conception is the moment that the sperm and the egg get together, and boom, that's the explosion of life happening, right? Okay. In the womb, in a woman's womb. Okay. Break it down all the way down. Okay. But I think that
9 months.
Listen, actually it's 10, which I speak about because you think about 4 weeks in a month. If you're pregnant for 40 weeks, okay, that's 10 months.
Okay, you breaking down to me. I don't know nothing.
They say 9 months. Why? I think, and I got to keep on going back to so many things. They say 9 months, I think, to get people comfortable with taking the babies early, because when you open yourself up to an epidural, there is a series of things that's going to happen. The body is paralyzed from almost from like the chest down, because of where they have to enter it in the back in the nervous area. It's done by anesthesiologists. So no, if you're birthing at home, you cannot have an epidural birthing at home. Why? Because it has to be performed by an anesthesiologist. So that's not something that happens in home births. But you're paralyzed you're completely numb, can't feel anything from the chest down. And on the papers that you have to sign to give them permission, it literally says that it could result in death, unfortunately, because they are messing around with a high vibrational part of your body. That it's an important system within your body. So unfortunately.
So is this all thing? Because people are coming like, oh, I didn't get that. So it's not talking about everybody, but majority of people. Like, who are you talking to?
I'm talking to anybody who's signing up for the epidural. It's not. Okay. It don't discriminate by age, race, or color.
Okay.
Well, I guess gender, because they're only giving them to. But what I'm saying is that it's a hospital policy so that the hospitals can cover themselves, because they realize how potent this drug and medication that they're giving to their clients. Okay. They realize that. So they're having you sign away that it can cause this, that, and the other. I know I got an epidural with my first child. I have 5 children, and my first and only hospital birth, I got an epidural, and it left me not being able to use my legs for over 24 hours. I couldn't walk. I couldn't get up. I couldn't feel much. When I went to go push him out, I couldn't feel. They were telling me, and I had to go internally. Like, you have to go internally just to imagine that you're moving muscles, even though you can't feel anything. And again, this was only introduced because some Hollywood European tactics that was being done overseas was like, people was like, oh, they having their babies quick, fast, with no pain. Sign me up, doctor. But there's levels to this, right? Before they got to the epidural, they were doing spinal taps, they were doing other things, and the idea of even removing, and I'm sorry if I'm going all over the place.
No, hey, it's a pod.
Right. The idea of even removing men out of that space was because the men knew that the first drug, and I can't recall at this time, that they were given to these women were making them giving them psychosis, like they were really trying to fight the doctors. And so what they would do was they would tie these women to the bed in lambskin so that the lambskin wouldn't mark their arms, and the husbands wouldn't say, hey, while my wife is all bruised up, or they would medicate these women and send the men out, say, hey, go have a cigar, go hang out with your buddies. You're not needed now. But in our culture, everybody's needed. Everybody is welcome into that birthing space.
So talk about it. Do you talk about that in your book, The Value of Men During the Birth Process?
I do talk about that. I do talk about the masculine and feminine energy, because I think that it's, again, it's been practiced, all these fear tactics, whether you see it in movie, whether your mother experienced it and now you're reliving your own birth story, or whether she did, your grandmother, somebody in your lineage experienced this trauma, and then instead of getting the truth about that birth is sacred and should be honorable, we're getting this fast food like chain where it's like, okay, I've seen people on my social media like, no, this cut me open. And then they have this idea that they're going to damage their vagina. Honey, it's a muscle. One thing that baby does is snap back, okay? It definitely snap. You will never.
Wait, why scared of the muscle? Wait, never mind.
No, go ahead. It's a podcast. What?
All right. So we're scared of what?
They're scared
The muscle. So
that their vagina will stay the size.
What do they actually say? What do they actually say?
What do women say?
Never mind.
No, what they say, or men and women actually say this.
Yeah.
Where they go into a space where they're like it's like a fear where they're like basically thinking that, hey, it's better to be cut open and have a cesarean, to have major surgery where you're cutting through all the layers of the skin. And it takes almost 2 years to heal all of that from the inside out. And it's very dangerous. Not to mention that. But this idea that, the vagina is not going to go back to the tightness that it was before the baby came through. And that is not true. That's a myth. Okay. That is 100% not true.
How long does it take to get back?
Well, I mean, listen, this is why they're telling people to wait. There are babies that are born 9 months after the first child is born. So you're asking me how long does it take to snap back? So it contracts, right? So what happens when you're in labor is that the muscle grid here in your belly area, and also down and near the womb and the vagina and all that, everything is stretching like this. Every time the woman has a contraction, it's stretching like this or like that. It's just making way. And so the canal, the vagina, for all intents and purposes, will start at 0 centimeters and work its way all the way up to 10, which is the size for the baby and the head to go through. And then immediately after baby is born, those things start, you have contractions to now pull everything back in, shrinking. So the body is communicating, the baby's communicating, and it's like your teeth growing in. Like your teeth communicated, your body communicated to your mouth and your teeth to say, hey, we're pushing out, we're new ones are coming in. That's not something that we technically signed up for, or we have to, you have to eat a certain nutrition for, and obviously have a certain regimen without like having fingers and bottles in your mouth. But it's you're designed to do that naturally. Birth is natural. Okay, it's a natural sacred event, and the way they've commercialized it have caused all these interventions that have where the Black women and children are dying at a higher rate with interventions that have been performed in hospitals.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I got some jokes like we got to do stand up. We got to do in person. I want to be safe. I don't be online. I test in person before. I got some things in my head
You
like
can always cut it out.
oh no, I want to see people reaction.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that.
I know I said a whole lot. But yeah, so I speak a lot about all of that in my book, pretty much. It's at the
What's
end
the
of
name of the book?
the book is called A Birth Journey and How We Got Here.
Okay.
And I came up with that because it was like, I really wanted people to go back to their ground zero, their foundation of, again, it's just, right now people are just having babies. And whether you're a teenager, whether you're married, or an elder, it's still like this stigma that, like, what were you thinking? How dare you? You don't even have a plan. You don't have X, Y, and Z. You don't have enough money. You don't have all these things. How dare you have a baby? And that kind of takes away from the godlike mentality. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Talk about it. So what is the finance part? There's so many things going. Like people are just talking. Like there's no foundations. Like is a God supposed to be provider or not? It's like okay. It's like, but that's what's holding some guys. Like
Yeah.
we was talking about it yesterday a little bit.
Yeah, we was.
So it's like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying not have a plan and not be prepared. Obviously, that's not the goal at all. But what I'm saying is people, because there is no plan and there is no preparation and there is no truth rooted in it being sacred. Like what is something that you think is sacred within our community?
So many. It's a lot.
So okay, you want to answer and then I'll tell you something else.
You go ahead, because there's so many. It's
okay,
like,
so
when I start.
when I went to we went on a tour for the native lands.
Okay.
And as they were doing the tour, they were talking about how the native people stayed close to the water because water was something sacred.
Okay.
Water was sacred, like they value women sacred. Like the women and the water were equal because both were needed for survival. Right? And so here we have a place where people feel like the women aren't needed or they're expendable. Like almost I feel like the hospitals are saying certain groups of people are somewhat expendable because of the measures that they go through to get the babies out of them rather than taking the best route.
Let's talk about it. So you're a traveler. So are you talking about the United States or is this everywhere?
It's practiced everywhere, but I think it's definitely the fear of birth is practiced everywhere.
Okay.
Because, mind you, and another thing I speak about in my book, it wasn't until the 1920s that in the U.S. our community started rapidly going to the hospital to even give birth. Because before then, you wasn't really allowed in the hospital. I mean, it wasn't looking to service you. It wasn't giving you service when you think about the timeline of our history here on this land, right? So it was natural and normal for you to give birth at home, for the midwife and the women in the community to come and gather. Like everybody knew what it was. Without phones, without certain transportation systems, without the technology that we have now, we had a less rate of infant and maternal mortality when we were just managing our own. And I think it's because that the community knew that the whole community pulled together for this mother and this baby to make it to arrive safely after birth. It wasn't like, hey, go into the hospital, girl, get that epidural, go on and get cut open, girl, go on and let all these doctors and all these random people touch on you and your baby when we don't know what type of energy you're taking. We don't even know your mindset. And this is not a fear tactic, right? I just want people to really think about the reverse of they've already scared you into this. They call them interventions. They call cesareans, epidurals, even the clamps. They use these clamps to pull the baby out if they feel like the baby ain't coming fast enough. All of these things are interventions that they have created within the hospital system to get it done fast. Like they ain't trying to wait. Fast food, honey. You remember McDonald's used to have that time thing on there? Like, we serve you another however many minutes.
Supersize?
No, like the McDonald's used to have a timer to say you've been served in so many minutes.
Okay. Yeah, that's still practice.
Yeah, I'm saying it's almost like the same. Like, they want you in and out.
Okay. Yeah, it's because of the cost.
Yeah, and not only cost, but the convenience of the doctor. Like, if I'm a doctor, nowadays, the doctors are not wanting to sit around and wait for you. Like, you really think I'm about to be sitting around here waiting for you to be pushing and being in labor, honey? Now, listen, give her the Pitocin. And Pitocin, I speak about this in my book as well, is a synthetic drug to mimic a natural hormone called oxytocin, the love hormone.
So is this your first book that you releasing?
It is. Okay. Actually, I did something with my old church a long time ago, like 15 years ago. I helped them do a cookbook. I mainly did most of the recipes in there. It was like a plant-based cookbook. But this is the first book that's just mine's own, yes.
Okay. So you're master chef. We talked about that too. A little like project we gotta work on.
Yeah, we're gonna be whipping it up. Y'all gonna be seeing that very soon. We're gonna show y'all how to cook some delightful things.
Show y'all. I'm teaching me.
And add some veggies to your life. Some colorful food medleys to your life. Yeah.
Yeah, sweet. So do you? Okay. Was it plant-based or the cookbook?
Yeah. The cookbook was plant-based.
Okay. Do you believe in vegetarian? Like, are you vegetarian, pescatarian? Who are you?
I dabble. Like I told you, if I'm in another country and they tell me that they're about to go get that chicken and they're gonna cook it for me, I'm gonna have the chicken.
Fresh chicken out the country.
Listen, and the chickens out of the country are not white; they're brown. You know that?
Yeah.
Like all the chickens that I've seen in Ghana.
Wait, where have you been? Let's talk about it. Where have you been to?
I've been to Ghana, Haiti, and Costa Rica, the Bahamas.
Cruise or when you say Bahamas?
I stayed at the Bahamas. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Took a ferry there.
Ferry from where? Here to?
Fort Lauderdale. It was like not less than 2 hours.
Ferry to Bahamas?
From Fort Lauderdale. You know, it's
what's a ferry?
like,
well, I'm like the thing that
a boat.
For the cars.
Yeah. So Bahamas is like 55 miles off the coast of Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. I don't know how is that further or closer than Haiti? But
it's closer than Haiti, I believe. But Haiti was close too because I know when we got to a certain point, I'm like, oh, you can see it. You can see it from right there. But I think we were out of Miami, which is like, I think like an hour from Fort Lauderdale. Okay. So Bahamas is this way, Haiti is that way, I believe. So okay. They're probably the same distance, maybe 60 miles, but that's like an hour drive technically, but you're crossing water, so a little bit. The ferry was, I'm pretty sure you can get there faster if you was in a faster boat, yacht or something. Travel faster. I don't know what's faster, but pretty sure it can go faster.
All right, so you're a traveler, so what do you like to do when you travel? Like, what's your go-to? Who are you? Like when you travel, like what do you do? Like,
I'm always in the community. Like I'm thankful for. Shout out to Afia. All of the retreats, all the things that I went on, we were in community. We didn't stay at no resorts. We were staying at the guest houses within the community. So everything that we got to see people waking up, whether they were selling coal, eggs, bread, toothbrushes, soap. You know, we got to be in the heart of the community, the hustle and the bustle of what was going on. And for me, yeah, that's how I vibe. Like, I'm not trying to be at a resort where they serving you 5 meals a day, you know, excluded from the community. I'm in the community.
So you're not a skydiver person? Are you a skydiver person? Like what?
Oh yeah, adventures for sure. I mean, I told you we did we climbed that mountain and the waterfall, and we did Citadel too, but in Ghana, I think it's either the second tallest waterfall in Ghana and West Africa, the Wee Waterfalls, and it was almost 10 hours up and down.
10?
plus the time that we spent at the water, which was like 30 minutes or so, 30, 40 minutes at the water. So maybe 9.5 hours.
Some more driving?
No, walking. We were walking for 4 days. And listen, the funniest thing was the day we were behind on our itinerary. So the day we get there, it was like the sun goes down early in Ghana, right? Time is very different. It comes up early, like 4:30, 5 o'clock, but it goes down early. It's like by 6:30 or 7, it's pitch black, pretty much. So we were walking in the forest, and the guy was like, "Y'all not gonna have much time because it's gonna get dark, and unless y'all okay with it, we can walk in the dark, but we want to get out because of the bats and all the other stuff." So we was like, okay, cool. We get in there. It's a 45-minute walk in there. We get to spend some time at this. This is the lower part of the wee waterfall. So we stay there overnight. We have breakfast. And he had told us to come back the next day. So we come back the next day. And he's telling us it's only an extra 30 minutes. So we like, okay, an hour and a half hike to get to the top waterfall. We're good. So we're walking. And I'm like, yo, it's been an hour and 45 minutes. And it's hot. Oh, it's so hot.
You out there controlling time.
Man, listen, it's hot, but it's not controlling time. It's just that where we're walking, I don't see no water. I don't hear no water. And I'm like, there's no way we're close to water from where we are in this mountain. We're like literally on the edge of this mountain here. And as we get farther to the top, I can see water, but it's far. And so I'm like, man, ask this guy again.
What language you speaking?
He was speaking to Ga, I think. I think he spoke all of the Ghanaian language. Twi, Ga, and I forget the other one.
French?
I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure because he was a tour guide. I'm pretty sure, the tour guides be speaking like 5 or 6 languages, So we get to the top and he's like, 20 more minutes. And I'm looking at the waterfall over there. I'm like, there's no way that's 20 minutes. There's no way. So by that time, I chunked it up. The only thing was we did not prepare for food. So here we are. We ate this big breakfast as we were leaving, but I think I had brought a thing of pineapples from the restaurant. Everybody had like a little bit of, like was sharing water. Plus, we are out in the wilderness, so we were doing plant medicine with our hike as well, which also helped me. I feel like it.
Plant medicine?
Yeah, shrooms, cannabis, plant medicine. It helps, honestly. Because listen, how did I make it up and down that? I have no idea, but we made it safe and sound. It was so beautiful. Like you can see there was so much mist coming from the waterfall that there was like a rainbow, several rainbows going across the back of the space. And no, it was beautiful. It was amazing. We crossed over into Togo because you had to cross over into Togo to come to the mountain. So they sit Ghana, Togo sit right next to each other. So that was pretty dope.
Okay. How long were you out there?
Well, it was 10.5 hours.
No, in Ghana.
Oh, Ghana, 3 weeks.
Shoot, what were you doing out there?
Man, I did everything. I mean, the retreat was only 2 weeks, but I misread the email, so I ended up extending my flight was longer where I was with the host, But we did the retreat, so we did the Cape Coast, what they call it, the castles on like Google, but the people call it the dungeons because that's what they refer to it as, a Cape Coast dungeons, not a castle, because they was holding people captive there. We went to the last bath, like with the gold inside the.
You know what they always wonder?
What?
Like, why are they always building stuff to keep people captive? Like, who's building these stuff like to keep people captive? Like, that's the thing I always think.
It was a church upstairs. So it was a church, and below the church was like the dungeons. Yeah, it was really weird. Really, really weird. And yeah, that I have so many opinions about that, but it was really weird. And then there was Almina Castle, which is right close to the Cape Coast Castle. Let's see, we went to, they have this, it's like a canopy walk that goes over this forest area. The dopest place that we went to was called Shy Reserve. And one of the tour guides on there was telling us how a nearby community or village used to make the girls come in there. They had to survive for like 6 months on their own. And if they got pregnant, they would kill the baby.
What?
I don't know if they killed
Wait,
the
say it
person.
again? They come to where?
They had to go survive in the forest by themselves for 6 months.
If they came back pregnant?
If they came back pregnant, they would. I think they killed off both of them. I think that was the way that I remember hearing it. It's been a minute since we told the story, but yeah, I think the people, because they didn't feel that they were strong enough to last the journey. So it was basically like at a what do you call that? Not initiation, but the rites of passage. It's like a rites of passage for the women, for the young girls.
Okay. That's weird.
Yeah, they would have them go and survive. Shy Hills there in Ghana, near the Ashanti region. But yeah, and I wanted to stay. So we were on the mountains where this guy had this shotgun, the tour guide. And he said, it's just for anything. I said, what do you mean just for anything? He said, well, there are things out here. And, if anything comes, it's over. And I said, okay. But he said, no, we should be good. So I said, okay. But there was a group that we were with. They did something called you ever heard of a taya?
Nope.
So I guess it's a drink. It's a mixture, but they make it to where they could do a ceremony. The guy keeps pouring these, it's a tea, I think, but he kept pouring it. We got to drink the tea, but we weren't able to stay on top of the mountain because the guy was like, listen, y'all Americans is not about to get me. No, y'all got to go and stay in the cabin. So we stayed up there on the full moon as long as we could. And then
Get you what? I missed that part.
What?
We say he wants y'all Americans to get him?
No, he didn't want us to stay. He didn't want us to have some type of negative experience on the mountain, and we're American. They were all Ghanaians.
Okay.
So, if they fell off the side of the mountain, it's I don't know. I guess it's not as bad as having an American who came over here on a retreat to fall off the side of the mountain. But he was like, no, y'all can't stay up here. And I'm like, what? Or it could have been other reasons. I don't know. They could have been doing some other special adult activities that invited to. But needless to say, it was a full moon, and we did some music. They was cooking out on top of this mountain. It was so dope. And then we got escorted back down to our cabin, and then we got to come back up and join them for breakfast the next day. And did more tours where we went to a bat cave and what smelled like pure pneumonia. Yeah, it was real disgusting. When we got to sit on the side of they have these big. We were basically, the mountain was like rocks merged together, but with spaces. So you had to use some of the trees that were hanging and the ropes that they have created to climb over and not fall through the cracks. So it was very adventurous and super fun.
Oh, that's fun. Okay.
I was in Ghana. Dangerous.
I'm just messing with you. Don't.
Was it really dangerous? I don't know. But yeah, so.
How was Bahamas then? So Ghana was. So how was the?
Bahamas was more like nah. It was more what's the word I'm looking for? It was just like.
How many days were you out there?
5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah, Ghana was the longest. Costa Rica was 10 days, and Haiti was 10 days. Okay. Yeah, but
What's the next trip?
Where? Actually, well, it's gonna be stateside, but I have a homegirl that's planning. They're doing a horseback riding, and they're going to a place called Paradise Waterfalls in Georgia. So it's like a horseback riding.
Savannah, Georgia? With
the waterfalls. I don't know. Is it for Savannah? You heard of it before?
Just asking.
Oh, I don't know. Actually, I don't know where it's at. I know she's in South Carolina, so it might be close to there. But yeah, it's a retreat, a healing retreat. All of these things when you're outdoors is a great way to ground, a great way to get in tune with self and your higher self and really just be free for a moment, right? And the childhood, our childhood is what helps us kind of align. We get that free moment where we're just out doing adventurous things like we would as a child. The Bible talks about, was it think as a child or?
I know what you're saying, but I don't know.
Wait,
Act like a child, think like, I don't know.
that you have to become like a little child to enter into the kingdom of God. And even whether you believe, it's not necessarily heaven or hell type of thing. It's mainly like entering into a space here on earth, heaven on earth, to where you're able to reap the benefits that are here, and you have to become childlike. So I think that when you travel and you do, whether it's a retreat or you're just going somewhere where you're able to be away from home, away from work, and just be free for a moment, it puts you like in that childlike mind, your innocence, and then you're able to tap into your higher self because you're not you're not carrying around the societal norms and all the systems and all these things. You're just being self for a moment, and that's very rewarding.
Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So what's new? What's going on? So you'll come on more often. So collaborating.
Yes.
So what does success look like to you? Like, what's the outcome? Like, what's for Columbus? What do you see for Columbus? Are we traveling? Like,
Wait, you talking about me or Columbus in itself?
I'm just talking.
Okay. So we said, you asked about success though.
Yes. Well, like, what's success like? What's
Success to me, this really means like being my authentic self. Like really being able to embody all that I was created to be, and not shying away because of he said, she said, or even from my own past perceptions. You know, that's part of the whole shadow work, like of overcoming things that people said to you, things that you thought, things that you believed in that really don't serve you. And to me, that's, for me, that equals success for me. And when I can attain walking truly in my full purpose and who I am and who I was created to be, I feel like that's success. I feel like all those other things will just happen and come, whether if it's job, money. I don't really feel like success is a bank account or.
Let's talk about it. Faith. So I believe you have strong faith. So give some how does your faith look? What's faith to you like?
Faith has more so been tapped into my nervous system. Like, I used to go places or be around people and I would have certain feelings or just feel uneasy. And I would be second guessing or having conversations with myself about being in this space. And when I would get out of there, maybe months or weeks later, the negative energy would expose itself. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what trusting myself was really the faith. Like, okay, your body is aware of so many things. And when you're not in tune with your body, you're just going to disregard all the signals, like whether if it's relationships, whether it's clothing, turning this way, going, like, you ever been like driving somewhere, you're like, this is not the way I was supposed to go.
All the time. That's why I keep my GPS. Because if I don't, my mind is going.
But see, then again, trusting yourself and the universe that, listen, man, if I didn't made this turn, I am going to arrive. And I can see if you're scattered in a different way. Like, let's say you were just having the worst day ever and you been saying a lot of negative things about yourself, then yeah, maybe you need to pull over and put the GPS on me. But if you're, I do my best to, I'm not perfect with it, but I have set certain routines in place to kind of help safeguard my energy and my mindset, to keep building that faith in self and connecting to divine. But I think that if people trust their self, their higher self, that is faith. You know what I mean? Like, just really trusting, and you got to like know. You have to know. And sometimes the way that we know is based off of what we're feeling, what we're speaking, right? So.
All right. So what do you speak? How do people find you online? Like, what do you speak?
How do people find me online?
Yes.
I'm still at the Birth Plug. They can still find me at the Birth Plug. They can still find me, Monique Whipple. A Birth Plug on everything: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Monique Whipple on everything else, on pretty much on all those things too, including WhatsApp, all those things. So you can tap into me all there. And then the book is entitled A Birth Journey, How We Got Here, and the author's name is Monique Whipple. So you can find me there as well. So yeah.
Okay. So how did it get to it? Like, what made you lead to writing a book? Like, what were some steps you had to overcome to get to that point?
Man, okay. I've been writing. Okay, so this book, what happened was I started writing a birth book when I had my first home birth, and that was in 2012. And it really just, well, no, not in 2012. It was after I had my third home birth. And it really was one of those things where everyone kept asking me, who is this woman that had these babies at home? And I'm recording them. I got people from my church, people from my community are coming to see, because I always had I was never like fully exposed. Right, like whenever I was giving birth, I had on like a bikini top, and I would have on like a skirt, like a bathing skirt, a bathing suit skirt, that where it just pop open, but it was able to be in the birthing pool. So I was never really, like, you couldn't see all my body parts.
Oh.
Right. Even my youngest son, his video went viral on Facebook.
Okay.
And I got on a shirt that says Sunday, because I knew I was birthing the son. So everything was intentional. Be intentional about your stuff. Okay. But I had on I basically had on a shirt, like a t-shirt, like a thin t-shirt that I wore as a skirt. Okay. And that was what was keeping my bottom area closed. But I kept on getting calls, and I kept on running into pregnant women. And I was like telling people, every time I get in a room with a whole bunch of women, somebody in here pregnant, and they don't even know that they pregnant. That was like my calling gift. Even when I moved back to Ohio, one of the ladies, shout out to Heather, one of the ladies that I helped virtually with 2 of her babies, that's how we connected. That was how we met. We were at this meeting, and everybody was like, tell your superpower. Tell one thing that's a superpower about you. And I was like, oh, well, I don't know if it's a superpower, but whenever I'm in a room full of women, somebody's pregnant, and they may not know, but whenever I get in a room full of all women, I know somebody's in there pregnant. And she pulled me to the side after the meeting, and she was like, it's me. I think she was like 6 or 7 months. She was at the point where she was dealing with some things mentally, because, again, there's a lot of pressure put on women when they get pregnant. And some of the first emotions that we arrive at is shame or guilt. Like, what was I thinking? How did I do this and that and the other? And at the end of the day, these things are happening because it's divine order. Like, it's only a short window to conceive. I was going back to the first part, I was talking about conception. You have a small window in 30 days that your egg is down where any sperm can get to it. So all of us, give yourself a break. Y'all was meant to be born. If you're pregnant, it was meant to happen. And I don't care how that happens. And I know that sounds, for certain communities, that people like, there's other things that happen. But even if so, the being that's coming through is supposed to be coming through. It's something that you prayed for, your grandmother, your mother. Somebody is asking for somebody to come through for something that y'all need in the future, and this is how they're coming through. So that's my belief. Yes.
Since the last video we made, have you ever said that to somebody in the room and they was pregnant?
Yes. Wait, yeah,
You're
I told
dangerous.
you the lady.
You're dangerous.
Yeah, the lady has. I mean, it's happened like about.
From last time we recorded.
Have I been in this? Yes, actually, yeah. That was just in June.
You're dangerous.
When did we? Yeah, because we recorded in like April. Yeah, no, it was in June. And then we just happened to be sitting and I don't say it often. It's mainly a lead thing, but I know that's one of my superpowers, and that's where the birth plug I kind of just started pouring into my gifts of, okay, I'm a birth worker. I have the wisdom, womb wisdom, like protecting and covering the wombs I'm really passionate about that. And I remember a lady in Florida coming to me like, hey, can you help me out? I know you've birthed at home before. This is going to be my first home birth. And I'm like, I'm not certified. I just know what I know, honey. And she said, well, can you please just be there? And I remember telling her no, and my whole gut was in knots. I felt so bad that I didn't show up for her. And I remember telling her why, though, that I didn't feel confident enough. And it was because, again, the systems that we have in place say, hey, you got to be certified, deep fried, and blow dried, and all these other things in order to be able to show up for your people. You counted.
Certified, beef fried, and
deep fried.
Oh, I never heard that.
And blow dried. Yeah, you
Never.
got to be all of the things in order for them. But before in our communities, like with your skills, you would basically align with younger men and women that can be your mentees, and you would just naturally show them the way. And naturally, because this was their gift, they would also be teaching you. So would it be, each one teach one?
Right.
But the way they have it now, everything is so commercialized. You got to go to 50,000 schools for 20,000 years in order to be certified and say that you're approved to do something. Rather than it saying, in the birth world, the midwives and birth workers were seeing, well, actually, it was a thing that everybody was learning, because what if I wasn't able to be around? You would, by law, and whoever else was around would need to know what to do, and we can't have you freezing up now because life is coming in. So we need you to know some basic things to do. One of them is not to fear, because life is happening and it's a natural thing, like a tooth coming in. We're not like, oh my gosh, go call the doctor and have them come here because the tooth is falling out and another one is coming in. It's like we're comfortable enough to know that, hey, old teeth fall out so that new teeth can come in. And we just got to arrive at conception is going to happen, especially if you bumping and grinding with no protection. Okay? Life is happening. Life is always happening. And if life choose you, welcome. What? Welcome it in, because listen, life was signed a contract for you and your family and saying, hey, whatever y'all need, I'm the answer to that. I'm willing to, whatever y'all skipped and didn't fulfill within our bloodline, I'm now here, and I'm willing to take the challenge on cleaning our bloodline so that we're not dealing with any not intergenerational, but we're not dealing with generational curses and generational trauma. So the babies are coming in to bring aid and to bring all these things and to help the family unit remember who we are.
So do you talk about the family unit in the book, or just the birth process?
I do talk about the family unit a little bit. I lean on that because I think that it's been practiced to where everybody thinks that, me and you have a baby and it's only for me and you to provide for this baby. But I don't know, how many jobs have you worked in your lifetime?
Quite a few.
Okay, so you didn't only show up for your mother and your father and your family, for the people who actually took care of you. You showed up for quite a few companies. Right. So my belief is that it's the community job to raise the baby, not just the mother and father. And that's where we're lacking now. We put so much stress on two people or one person to provide, when my child is going to come and marry somebody's daughter or son. My child is going to birth and clean and work for your company and educate and teach and do all these things, not just for my household, but for the whole community. So why is it left for one or two people to provide for these children? That seems very weird. But I don't believe I don't believe we operated that way until now. I believe before we did operate that way, where, I can get more than a cup of sugar from your house. I would get a whole meal, because you knew that I was at home with these babies. And so you would provide me a whole meal, or you would provide something that was going to take the load off. Even if it was like, there's a lot of children that used to go spend the summers at their grandparents' house with no food, probably with very little clothes, and survive the whole summer with grandparents. You can't really do that now.
We got AI now, that's why. I'm just joking.
I'm saying.
I had to throw that in there.
It's the truth, honey. We got something that's taken away.
Robots having kids, it's like,
I saw something recently, something about how they were doing something with girlfriends, like, or relationships, the AI relationships, how they were like,
yeah, it's getting crazy.
Putting some type of not stigma. They was putting some type of law or policy on it was Asian or some community that wasn't in America, and how they had was doing partners with AI. It was like limiting how they can do certain things or something. It was really weird. But anyway, I digress.
Yep. So cool. Any questions you have? Like, anything you want to talk about? Because I'm like,
It's
I
all
don't.
good to you.
I don't want to be one-sided.
What do you mean don't be one-sided? I've been talking this whole time.
But any questions you have?
What were the questions you have? You been asking all the questions, or I just been talking?
Because when I was just thinking about the food, the salad and stuff, everything's not good for you.
What, the salad?
Yeah, like whatever, the lettuce.
Oh, they say certain lettuces aren't good. I think it's iceberg. It's not the one that's good.
I don't know. I've been buying them. They've been on clearance. Like, oh, Rory, this was
The big iceberg ones, they say those aren't good. But also, I think people need to understand when it's hydroponics is really big now. You know what that is?
No.
Hydroponics is when you're not growing in ground, you're growing out of the water. So they basically take like a styrofoam board, and like they put it over a big pool area, and it grows like, it's like almost like growing chickens now. You know, chickens, they used to take 6 months to grow a full chicken, and now they think they grow a chicken in like 90 days or less. But the same with the lettuce and certain fruits, they're growing out of the water instead of dirt, and they're being fed by the nitrates and stuff from the fish. So the fish is what is feeding it the nutrients that it needs, and some other things that they do in there, but it's the fish waste. But so I don't know if I have to look into, I don't know if the iceberg is, because I know lettuce is one of the things they can grow in like 30 days. And normally if you're growing lettuce in the ground, it's going to take you like 120 days. So they have cut certain things in half, and it grows faster, and you can do it in smaller spaces. So you don't need as much, you don't need as much space, because the roots are going down into the water, as opposed to things kind of intertwining on top of the land, messing up, and you don't have no weeds. So you don't have to weed, don't have to do, I think, pesticide stuff. But I forget what they said about the iceberg. I just remember iceberg was one of the lettuces that they said wasn't that great to ingest. And we're talking about lettuce.
I've been good, so I've been eating. I'm still ain't losing the gut. So
listen, it's multiple things, and not just what you eat, right? You gotta get your body everything. You gotta get proper rest. You gotta manage your stress.
That's it, for real. Stress.
Yeah, rest, stress, and water. And I posted a post, I don't know if you've seen it, like a couple of weeks ago. I was telling women basically how to naturally lose weight. How, like 6 ways or something like that, 10 ways maybe, or how to naturally lose weight. I already said rest, managing your stress, getting enough water. When I say water, I just don't mean like I'm about to drink a thing of water. No, I mean like you take your body weight and you divide that by 2. That's how you should try to achieve that ounces. So I weigh 150. Technically, I should be drinking 75 ounces of structured water per day. Even though I don't get to that, but I come very close, probably 60, 65. Yeah, listen, I have to, because I know what I know how my body feels when I don't get enough of whatever I need. I can feel it, because I've been regulating my body, my eating habits for so long. So anytime if I eat something spicy, my whole body feels it, because it's not a whole bunch of other things that is filtering out. It's like it's just one and done. And most people, not most people, they said, I read this years ago, that most Americans have like 3 to 6 months of things that they have to detox out of their body.
Yeah.
And so, it's okay. So what I say: stress, water,
sunlight.
Okay, sun. Let's throw the sun, that vitamin D up in there. Get that sun.
Yeah.
You also need
I should know this, but I don't even.
Fruits and vegetables, and then there's things that you got to eliminate, right? So white sugar, the white sugar is bleach. White flour is bleached. It's a chemical. It's not good for your body. It's like glue and paste up in there, and it make everything just stick. White potatoes, because they also are higher in starch, more higher in starch than red potatoes or sweet potatoes. So red potatoes and sweet potatoes are more what you want to lean towards. White potatoes you want to give up. Wait, did I count that right? I lost count already, right? Rice, white rice, want to get rid of that, because for the same reason, the starch, rice, potatoes, dairy. There's something else.
Dairy definitely make my mucus.
Yeah, dairy, it inflames you. It inflames your respiratory.
That's the sign for y'all to go check her page. What's the page?
The Birth Plug, or either Monique Whipple. Mm-hmm. Check it out. Mm-hmm. And I list some of this stuff in the book too, because I wanted the mothers the families that had conceived, I wanted them to have a base of what to eat, because everybody has this concept that I'm pregnant, I'm eating for two. It's like, no, boo. You're pregnant, you're eating for you. As long as you get what you need, the baby will get what it needs. But if you're eating for double for this little pea-sized thing, you're going to gain more weight than what you need to in the pregnancy, and that can make other things more difficult for you when it comes to reversing and going back to life with baby outside of body. So you definitely want to tap into that.
You may put the notebook down. I forgot what I was gonna say. There's something else.
We've been going good. This is good.
Yeah.
I talked about the conception and talked about stuff in the book. I'll have a dictionary in my book.
Okay. And for journaling?
Well, no, a dictionary just so people can be aware what terms mean. I feel like, you're reading something, you normally got to go look it up.
I heard diary.
Oh, no. Actually, I created a journal book separate from the book so that people could journal as they're going through their pregnancy. But yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you remember?
Yeah. Current news. Update us. Don't time it, but some new things that are happening, developing in Columbus. Because you're out, you're engaged. So like, give some new insight. Don't timeline it. Don't make it too out.
Oh, don't say that. Am I up to date with what's going on in Columbus? Yikes.
I thought the African Fest.
Oh yeah, that was great. What's it called? United. What's it called? United something.
Yeah, United African something.
Yeah, that is a really amazing event. I really appreciate it. I was on a food truck working with on my friend's food truck, but.
So you be cooking. Oh, hold up. We'll end this camera. We'll end the show. Like, you gotta show me how to cook.
Actually, I've assisted with her for the last couple of years, and I've just learned how to make a couple of things. Fufu. I'm so excited that I learned how to make fufu. I've seen her make rice and some other things, but I myself, I can see it. I know I like to mimic a lot of stuff because I'm a foodie. I love food.
You mimic, your accent. What's the accent you be mimicking?
I mimic a lot. My British one is the one I can go into very easily because I feel like it's so natural. And then I don't know if it'd be British or if it'd be something else, but I feel like I go there so naturally. Like it just rolls off my tongue. People sometimes love it or they hate it. So, yeah. And then when I get around a lot of people, depending on my Nigerian friends or Ghanaian friends or my Haitian friends, I sometimes pick up on their natural dialect.
They be throwing me off. I remember seeing you first. I'm like, she's African or Haitian. Like, where is she? Oh, you're American? Like, no.
And my daughter says, Mom, why are you talking in that voice? And I'm like, talking in what voice? I'm just talking regular. I'm not talking in any type of voice.
Do you plan to go to England?
It's not really a place that I really want to go. I feel like it's very dreary there and it rains a lot. I really like to go where the sun shines all the time, and I love to get a tan, and be by somebody's beach. I don't know if I'll go there. I wouldn't mind. But I know when I get around people that are from there, I feel like, oh my gosh, this is my chance to speak in my dialect. Hopefully they don't think I'm mocking them.
Too late.
But I will tell them, like, hey, listen, because I met a lady, what is her name? She's in the city. I forget her name. She has a very unique name too, like Smiley or something like that. But she speaks with the dialect, and I told her, hey, I couldn't wait to meet you in person. Do you mind if I give I do voiceovers, so I'm not being funny. I'm just being professional as a voiceover. She's like, oh, sure, go ahead. And so I did it. And she just looked at me like, oh, that's neat.
I can see you doing cartoon shows.
Yes, I do play around with children a lot with cartoons. My children, too, they're all animated with the drawing and with their vocals. So it's a whole thing that I've been getting them into. I have this whole vision of creating some animated things. So yeah, I really do. When I read to them, I do the voices in the books.
Sweet.
Try to bring life to the books.
You're doing it. Hey, wait. By the time this video released, the book will be out, and Hey,
Check it out. Amazon.
congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Yep. So Columbus, the
Columbus,
Midwest,
the Midwest.
Intel, major companies. How you feel about them?
I mean, folks better be prepared. I think that people need to do research on Silicon Valley. Because I heard years ago that, Columbus is mimicking Silicon Valley with all the tech companies. I mean, pretty much everything is here. We got Amazon, you got Google, you got Meta, you got the Intel, you got all the major banks are here. Software companies, banks, yeah, all the things are here. So I think with that being said, people would do themselves a good service to research Silicon Valley in California and how that community thrived or what did they need to look out for. Because one of the things I did find out is that the prices of everything shot up. And there were certain groups of people coming in, buying up land and building these high risers where you got people living in your basement for $2,000. I mean, it was this crazy stuff. So
I love New York.
right. But I definitely would go and check it out yourself and see, see how your city is about to shape up. Because Columbus is definitely, and even with the smart buses, with the the Dakota.
Yeah.
Have you been to Atlanta? Have you been to Atlanta?
Yeah.
You seen those Waymos? Waymo?
Yeah, I actually did. I took a video of it.
Did you drive
It was here. They was here in Columbus, but they was doing manually. But yeah.
Selfless driving car. No, honey, I cannot. But I mean, that's what we're on the verge to. We're the Jetsons.
I went to a thing yesterday.
What?
But it's about tech people talking about how to collaborate, stuff like that.
Okay.
And it mentioned the Midwest do not want to be called Silicon Valley, like Cali. Like we want to do our own thing because we have 20% of water, pure water, is in Lake Michigan.
The wetland, and we're part of the wetlands too.
Yeah, so they want to be like that. They're not. They are, but they don't want it to be called that. It's like we make sure we preserve the thing because we intersect the middle, the heart, So there's a lot of talk.
Well, there's two things that I could say about Ohio. They changed the slogan, Ohio, find it here. You know that? That's what it says now.
What was it before?
The heart of it all, I believe. Ohio, the heart of it all. And now it's find it here. I think that's what it is now. But that was one thing. What was the second thing? Oh, when I go into these rural areas and I see the signs are saying, basically they don't want the tech. They don't want the intel. They don't want them filling the water. So I haven't, and the chip company too is here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I haven't got into what it all means and all that and the other, because they say the water that's on Earth has always been here. It's not like a new source of water that's coming from somewhere. The water that's coming out the sky is literally the clouds going down and getting water and then traveling and raining somewhere. So, I mean, I haven't allowed my brain to go that far to say what that means, but I see those signs in the rural areas where they're like, hey, we don't want it. They don't want it. So it's so much stuff that we can control. But if you're interested in such said things, check out, I guess, the state capitol and your legislators and things like that. They are talking about these things, and there's always a space for your voice to be heard. So if you're really concerned and passionate about it, talk to lobbyists or talk to the legislators or talk to these representatives to see how you can let your voice be heard. Okay. That's my only political statement I got for today.
Oh, I was just about to get started. So
don't let me stop you now.
Nah, the question I have is, dang, I lost it.
No,
that's why you're talking. Because when I start talking, I forget what I'm saying.
Okay, well, I was talking about the.
What do you want to see in Columbus? Like, what development do you want? Same thing with success, but what do you want to see in your community?
Oh, what do I want to see in my community? That's a good question. Ooh. I think we can really benefit from focusing more on the youth. I think with the curfews that have been put out for the youth, and some of the crime and the violent acts, and just the lack of respect, there is some hubs that are going to need to be created where it's just for children, because the children, the homestead, home foundation is broken, right? You got mothers that are walking out on their families. You got fathers walking out on their families. You got people that unfortunately have passed away, and you got a aunt or grandmother, a sister, a brother, somebody trying to now fill in the spaces, but they don't have all the resources. But if we could create some spaces specifically for youth, not like daycares, not like rec centers, but something that's going to be like a home, almost not like a group home, but just a home away from home. Like, I feel like I'm just gathering this right now because I'm being asked right now.
Just
but
talk about, before you finish that, let's talk about the kids. Like, what do you see with all this teen takeover thing? Like, what's your solution before you complete? What would you like to see? Like,
I mean, okay. I'm gonna try to wrap this up as quickly as I can. This goes back to the birthing, right? Of birth being not sacred, because what happens when this is my belief. I believe the more that we have these interventions in the hospital, where we have doctors pulling the babies out of the womb via cesarean. We got babies being born highly drugged, whether it's Pitocin, so they got the fake love. They don't have the real hormone love. They have epidural, where they're coming out, they're foggy, they're highly drugged, right? They're numb for all intents and purposes. I feel like that effect is still following them as they grow older. And we have now where you have a community of children that don't respect elders, that don't respect life. And it's like I think they're connected. So it's not only that we got a lot of broken homes, but also how these children, the new age, and how they enter into the world, they don't feel the love. They need to be able to feel the love of the community in order to feel confident enough to be great. And without feeling that love of the community, it's just like, why does it matter? Y'all don't love me no way, so why does it matter? And I think one of the first proverbs, the African proverbs that I start my book out with, is that a child that doesn't feel the love of the community will burn it down to feel its warmth. And
damn, I caught that.
So if the children don't feel your love, I mean, we see this, we say it. I mean, the African proverbs really help us to just be more practical and to be more focused on how to fix any problems. But we see it, we just say it a different way. We see, like, okay, people joining gangs. People normally join gangs. Why? Because they lacking love at home and they feel the love within the gang. But they're necessary, for all intents and purposes, they're burning their chances of a successful life by being in this violent gang, because they don't feel the love of their family. And as I said earlier, children that are born in a certain way, and this has been documented. You can go check out, not only check out my book, but you can also check out The Business of Being Born. One of the doctors affirmed it's a chemical imbalance, because again, our bodies have natural hormones. Now, these people have found a way to create synthetic hormones, and they're injected it into mothers by way of also injecting it to the baby right before the baby is born. They're forcing mothers into labor, to early labor, to push the babies out faster. And again, the side effects, it could be 3 pages, but we will never know, only because you sign off on a paper and they just make it like it's almost like me coming to your house and you offering me water, and I don't say, hey, is it tap water? Is it bottled water? Is it filtered water? You know what I mean? It can be any one of those, and one of them can be detrimental to my body. But if I'm not asking the questions, or I'm not given that opportunity to know all my options, I'm just gonna say, okay, yeah, I'm thirsty, honey, so I need water. Yes, but that's how I kind of look at the hormonal shift. And there's other things that they've done too within the hospitals that I feel like affect not only the mothers and how they feel afterwards after giving birth, but then also these babies that are growing up to now in so many ways terrorize communities or terrorize their own life because they're not feeling the love, y'all. So yeah.
Okay. And then like complete what you were saying, like what do you want to see in Columbus? Like what was the
Oh yeah. I mean, I just was saying that there's a space for I think more spaces that are focused on children. Like I want to go ahead.
you know about participatory budget? The $1 million for each district. Look into that. I'll send you a link for that. But yeah, by October, I don't know, but I'll send you a link.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the city.
That's good.
Yeah, participatory budget. Yep.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really good. I mean, I think that, you know, the more that we can get back to, I mean, because we think about back in the day, when my children say, oh, that's like back in the day. Well, we were safe. I was safe to walk around Youngstown, Ohio at 5 years old, and I didn't have a fear of nobody coming to kidnap me. I didn't have fear of not knowing my way. I didn't need a GPS. I didn't walk around with a map.
Hey, don't judge me.
But also, my parents wasn't fearful neither. My parents was able to go do what they needed to do. Why? Because somebody's grandma or auntie or uncle was sitting on the porch that was going to make sure that my little butt was being respectful and honorable. And now we have so many people that condone disruptive behavior. They're like, oh yeah, do these things or do that and the other. Why? Because we have so many adults too. They're what they call that, they late bloomers.
Late bloomers, they messed up.
No, it's the truth. No, go ahead.
Nope.
They messed up.
I ain't getting canceled yet.
But also, no, they messed up because why? We're creating, he got to see Clone and Tyrone. I told this dude he got to see Clone and Tyrone. I told you what we seen on the street the other day was, it's almost similar to the storyline of Clone and Tyrone. And basically, it's no different than this here. If you have a group of people that are being born and they don't know the way to their own success within their own bloodline and they continue to have more children, those children are going to repeat the same patterns and habits as the other people did that came in. So we don't have a pause button. We can't stop. Everybody's literally humping like it's about to go out of style. So the only way to really fix it is to adopt new ideas because we don't have a pause button. Some of the new ideas is how the babies are coming in and some of the things that you do while baby is in womb. Because your baby is downloading information, sounds, smells, vibrations. They can feel the arguments, they can feel the happiness, they can feel the sadness. They're feeling all of these things while they're in the womb. And then they come out and then they get it more and more indoctrinated to, you know, the television, tablets, phones, and our way of life. So the only way to impact your bloodline and your family is one, remember that women are sacred. I just got done reading a book called When God Was a Woman. Women are very sacred. Why? Because without the womb, none of y'all would be here. Okay? Without somebody sacrificing their body, you, the listener, you wouldn't be here. Okay? So we want to, in whatever way you got to pray about that and take it into your system, understand that women are very valuable and they're sacred. And so you should honor them at all costs. And granted, everybody don't deserve honor and respect, and that's okay. Let them be. But the ones that do, give it to them. And then the other thing, so do children. Children need to be honored and respected. Not just, they can't just be like, oh, do this because I'm telling you to and you're a child. No, they're going to be an adult someday. They're going to remain a child the rest of their lives. So if you're doing things that are unhonorable to children, they're going to just naturally tap into what you're doing and they're going to repeat that cycle. And not saying that you can't be no grown up and be out kicking it, but whenever I see a lot of adults outside kicking, I'm like, damn, who got all the children? If all the clubs is packed and everybody outside having a hot girl summer, a hot boy summer, who got the children? Because there's grandmas and grandpas outside kicking it too, so.
She said it. So, final question. What does purpose over popularity mean to you?
Purpose over
Popularity.
popularity. Ooh, it means that, listen, it almost means like what I said for success. I'm being my authentic self. I don't care what you think about me. I don't care your opinions of me. Your opinions matter very little, especially when I'm being my authentic self. So what was it? Purpose? That's my purpose. Yeah, because I was brought here for a reason. And if you have a problem with how I show up or who I am, especially if I'm being my authentic self and being respectful, you got to see the divine. You got to go take that up with the Most High. Have a conversation with that being, and then come holler at me. But other than that, I'm not really caring. I want to be popular regardless, because that's who I was created to be, whether you like me or not. I was created because I have a message to share. Like, that's why I was created. I just have to use my voice to get it across. But I think in the sum of things, that's what it means. Like, don't really care about, especially if you're, because my friend said that there's being right. Wait, how did he say it? I think he said doing right, but you're wrong. And doing something like that. I can't remember. Well, I'll say it the next show.
I'll cut it.
I'll bring it out to y'all the next time. But yeah, if you know in your heart, hey, I'm living out my purpose, my life calling, my purpose, you got to rid yourself of how people view you and think of you, because there's so many societal norms and there's so many systems put in place to belittle people that have been called to do righteous, great things. And you'll be like the children of wilderness, making your 40 years, and a 40-day trip only should have been just to get a message across, because you've been considering Tommy, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. Mm. And they don't matter at the end of the day, because people are going to be who they want to be. And if they want change and they want to get with the program, then they are going to support you all the ways. And so the other stuff you just really got to get rid of, because it's really your perception and your limited beliefs that will stop you from being your highest and your greatest self. So.
All right. Leave us out on a positive note. And make sure you give your drop where the people can find you.
A positive note. Hold on. Let's see. Dang, I've given so many. Let's see. Positive notes.
Give us a negative note. Leave us out on a negative note then. You know,
don't smoke crack. No. Okay, wait. A positive note. I have this. Hold on. Let's see. Self-love. I got you. So I asked a friend the other day, what is self-love? And you know what they told me? They said, and this is whether you have children or not. This is why it's all about the children. They said self-love is how you care for your children. It's almost like how you care for your children. You know how you wouldn't just let anybody discipline them, or you wouldn't let them eat certain things, or you wouldn't let them go certain places. Like you have that certain protection and cover over them. And that's really what we should be doing for self. So my positive note to you, my friend, is to tap into your self-love. And if you don't know if you're tapped into your self-love, just think of yourself how you would mother or father your children. And are you treating yourself the same way you would these children? If so, baby, you tapped into self-love.
How can people find you?
How can people find me? Find me at The Birth Plug on all platforms: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And you can also follow me at Monique Whipple on everything. And don't forget, my book is out. Go purchase A Birth Journey and How We Got Here, baby. Not baby, but how we got here. Yes.
All right.
Peace.
Appreciate you. Okay.
It's a wrap.